Congratulations on this film. It was so funny and I really enjoyed it.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate that.
First of all, given that The Valet is a remake of an original French comedy, in what ways did you aim to distinguish your version?
Yeah, I mean, the French comedy is obviously a classic in its own right, but I think when we were approaching the American version of it, I don't think there's any more kind of American story than the immigrant family story. And I think because we're telling that story, it very much distinguishes from the original.
Yeah. And other than the central idea and story, what did you try to emulate the most from the original version?
You know, I honestly, we really weren't trying to emulate the original really in any way. Again, I think our story being kind of an immigrant family story is different enough that we tried to approach it with kind of our own lens.
Yeah, that's great. Now, why is comedy the best genre to tell this story as opposed to a drama, for example?
We had a saying on set that comedy was the best way to smuggle in very important themes in today's world. It's like a teaspoon of sugar. Like it just kind of goes down easier. And I do think this movie is talking about some really important things that are very relevant to today's world. You know, a world that's getting more and more divided every day, and people are disconnecting in a bigger way than ever. And here we have a movie about finding human connection in places you wouldn't expect. Virtually every relationship in the movie is about that, and I just think doing it with comedy is kind of the best way to get our message across.
Yes, of course. And I love how this film emphasizes the importance of family and the humanity of ordinary working class people and celebrities alike. I'm curious, what was your favorite part about the Valley's larger social commentary?
My favorite part, my favorite part about kind of what we're talking about socially is yeah, the ability to see that there's a scene in a movie after the crash where they're both going home alone, and it's really one of the few times in the movie where we get to see them alone. And I just think the fact that they kind of share. They're sharing. One is a huge, gigantic movie star, and one, is just your everyday valet. But they both share a really similar thing on a human level, and I think, even something as a simple idea as that, I think, is something that's, I think, getting a little bit lost. That we actually do have all these kind of things in common, and I think the idea that we can see that with these characters. It's just such a fun idea and something I hope people can kind of connect to.
Eugenio and Samara were both outstanding in this film. How impressed were you with how they took on their roles and built their relationship on screen?
Well, I'm huge fans of both, so I was impressed but not surprised, I guess, because I just think they're both so smart. And when we talked about the characters, I think we all just were very much on the same page about what we were trying to do and how we were trying to do it. And they both worked so hard. They had so much input and so much to bring to make these characters real. And I think Samara's character, honestly, I think that's a difficult character actually to make, to balance out the likability of her. And we have to, she's a huge Hollywood star, and I think there's a perception out there that if you're a gigantic, huge Hollywood star, your life's perfect. And I think it's on Samara to bring that humanity out of it, and the idea, and just making that person a real person. Like I love how brave she was to just be extremely goofy and clumsy, and kind of just bring a real humanity to that role.
Definitely. And finally, there are so many hilarious and heartwarming moments in this movie. What was your favorite scene to shoot?
Oh my gosh, that's so loaded. I have a million things that I love to shoot. It's very hard to pick one, but there's one scene where there's three languages spoken between the mom, who's Carmen Salinas, Mr. Kim, and this little Korean girl, and And I don't know, there's something about shooting that scene and just how fun it was and funny and just kind of considering what the movie's about, that I think I remember so well, because Eugenio was right beside me anytime there was Spanish spoken, and just Eugenio and I just kind of running in there, talking to the actors, getting that all to work out, not understanding what anyone, you know, and it was a really meta moment between kind of, you know, my not understanding Spanish, and then there's Korean, and the work with the little girl that I think just really spoke to what we were doing, and I think coming together and making that scene was very much about what the movie's about.
Well, thank you for your time, Richard. Congratulations on this film, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day.
Oh, thank you. You too.